One other area of the brain that we're going to spend a lot of time talking about this semester is the basal ganglia. This is a picture from another textbook that I kind of both love and hate, because this picture is sort of like if the basal ganglia were glowing inside your brain and you had X-ray vision and you could see into your brain. This is about what you'd see. However, the basal ganglia is not visible through the brain, on the surface of the brain. If you just look at the surface of my brain, the basal ganglia is not going to be there. In fact, if you cut away my skull and looked at the surface of my brain, this picture on the left is what you would see. These are the surface areas of the brain, color-coded by some particular functional features, some of which we'll continue to unpack over the course of the semester. On the right is another picture that shows if you cut my head in half and threw away my left hemisphere, what my right hemisphere would look like if you saw it from the midline. The basal ganglia are also not visible here. Instead, in order to see the basal ganglia, you need to cut away through the brain like this, do a cut down through my brain like this, and throw away the front half of my brain. And then deep within my brain, you'll see the basal ganglia. So here's what they look sort of arcing around together. And if you take a cross-section through them right there, then what you will see is something like this. There are a lot of different structures within the basal ganglia that we'll be talking about. The main one that we're going to be talking about for obsessive-compulsive disorder is an area called the striatum, which is, of course, because everything has two names, made up of something called the caudate plus the putamen. We're going to return and talk about Huntington's disease and Parkinson's disease a little bit later on in the semester. This is a very complicated slide showing a lot of the functional connectivity between the basal ganglia, but the important thing to notice here is that the striatum is dead center. That's the caudate and the putamen. Collectively are called the striatum, or sometimes called the dorsal striatum, a term that we'll return to later on in the semester. For now, though, we're just going to call it the striatum, and it gets input from all over the cortex. Every area of the cortex, with like one or two small exceptions, makes direct projections into the striatum. And then the striatum helps to collect all that input and control movement outputs, as well as provide other information about how to plan activities.